What's happening, everyone? My name is Phil with PrecisionLED.com. Today we have a 2005 Honda Civic we'll be installing LED interior lights on. Now this Honda Civic is a 7th generation, and that's compatible with year models 2001 through 2005. Today we're working on a 2-door coupe, but this installation is still compatible with the 4-door sedan. Now today we're going to be using our PrecisionLED Premium 5730 style LED interior lighting kit, and that's available on www.PrecisionLED.com. Now we're going to be replacing our front map and dome light, the rear dome light, the trunk light, the license plate lights, as well as the backup reverse lights. Let's go ahead and get started. Every PrecisionLED lighting kit comes with 3 trim tools you can use to perform the installation. We have the fork-shaped wedge tool here, serrated knife tool, as well as our pointed wedge tool. For the front overhead map lights, we're going to be using our fork-shaped wedge tool, and you're going to be putting it in between the indentations on the left and right hand side of it, like you see here. You're going to press in and then pry out. And that's going to release the panel on one side. You do it again on the other, and the lens cover pops off. As you can see, you're releasing these 2 clips from the console to get this cover out. Now that you have it out, we have access to our wedge type bulbs here for the 2 map lights, as well as this dome light. You can just use your hands to pull it out. And you're going to replace them with these 5730 style LEDs. These are non-polarity specific, and that means that you can plug them in any direction or orientation you want. We'll flip it around here, and it's still going to turn on, and that's because it has circuitry designed into the bulb so that power always flows in the correct direction. So go ahead and continue, replace the other 2 bulbs. Like that, and then you're going to put the cover back on. Now the cover has 2 small indentations here on the back side, and that goes in first, and then the rest of the panel goes on afterward, just like that. For the rear overhead dome light, we're again going to use the fork-shaped wedge tool. And there are indentations on each of the 4 corners holding this lens cover in place. You're going to place the tool in between the lens cover and the overhead console mount, and again pry to remove. And for this, you only need to remove 2 sides to pop the panel off. But as you can see, the indentations here, 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 and here. Now we're going to take our festoon bulb, and the easiest way is to take our pointed wedge tool and just force the bulb out. In case the bulb is hot, this is probably an easier method to go about. And then from here you can just pull it out. A pair of needle nose pliers helps at this point as well if the bulb is hot. We have our new LED here. This one's just going to go in, direct replacement. And you want to make sure that the LED is pointed in the right direction. So you want the boards pointing down, so when the bulb turns on, all the light comes down into the cabin. Alright, now that we have that in, our lens cover is going to go back in. This one, you can start with the back side here first, push it in, and then use pressure to snap the other 2 sides in, just like that. Here we have the trunk light on the Civic, and to gain access, we're just going to wedge the pointed wedge tool in between here, and just bring the gate down. And since this one is always going to be on because the trunk is open, unless you disable the circuitry, we're going to use the pair of pliers to remove that bulb. You can also use a piece of tape to get it out, but this works pretty well as well. There you go. You just don't want to apply so much pressure that you crush the bulb in the pliers. That has happened before. The new LED bulb goes in. This one is polarity specific, so we have to turn this one around. There you go. Here we are looking at the top of the trunk lid, and we have one of the license plate holders that you can see here. Now, to replace the license plate light, you're going to use your thumb and your pointer finger and pinch in and pull it down. And that comes right out. We're going to remove the old halogen bulb and replace it with the new LED. And before we go ahead and put it back in, we're going to go ahead and test these lights. Make sure it turns on, and they do, so we can turn them off. And then when we put it back in, you just wait for the 2 click sounds. Make sure it's secure in place, and that's all there is to it. We're going to show you now how to access the backup reverse light and replace it with an LED. What you will need for this is a flathead screwdriver to get rid of this pull tab here. You're going to unscrew, and this should just pull out. Just like that. When you pull back this flap, or the trunk trim, you'll see that the backup reverse light is the one with the green connector here. You're gonna turn counterclockwise to remove it and just pull it out. Replacing it with one of our double stacked wedge type LEDs. We're going to go ahead and reinsert it into the housing. It's going to go back in the same way it came, and then you turn clockwise to secure it in place. There you go. And that's all there is to it.
And that's the end of the installation. If you have any questions or concerns, please email us at help@precisionled.com, or you can reach us online and submit a support ticket at www.precisionled.com/contact. Now, like we said before, please like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video or enjoyed the process for what we do. It really does help us out when we make the next one, knowing that there's people out there watching the videos. Have a good one.